Arás chuig éist Arís gur mí na magi as a bheith ag éisteach Arís. Guys, agus mar is gannach inniu baimid ag éisteach. Le gach clip nua by céad clip buganí ní séisca, no an dara clip inniu actually. Tá dá clips, size jacker, both clips are difficult enough, so if you're at a bit of a lower level, don't be worrying too much maybe about, understanding in a good bit of it. Just more so focus, I suppose, on the breakdown after and take away different pieces from that, because both of them, first one's the standard version, kind of the accent isn't too difficult, but it's quite fast. And the second one, it's dealing with two native speakers, one from Donegal and another from Galway, so can be quite tricky, but again, really good practice, and it's important always to kind of run into and to approach instead of avoiding, kind of actually look for these kind of tougher ones and seek them out, because you want to get to the position where you can just flick on a podcast or talk to anyone or whatever it might be and know you're going to be able to understand pretty much everyone or the vast majority of them. So the best way is to listen to some of the most challenging ones once you can at least get a bit of it and it doesn't sound like Chinese. The first clip, guys, is from episode 3 of Éire Eile. Éire Eile is a series we previously featured, I believe, on the first ever episode of Éist Arís, actually. And it is episode 1 to 8 are available on YouTube, so the link for episode 3 will be down below in the description. Quite a good series to watch if you're learning, because they're just small episodes. Each one's about 12 minutes long or something. Quite interesting content. And also the main guy, he's a young guy, about the same age as me, I think, who is from quite near where I'm from. Actually, he's from Anspidel or Inzeron, or Spiddle or Invern, as they're called in English. And his Irish is a bit easier to understand. It's very Connemara, but it is a bit easier to understand and uses good few English words here and there. So it can be a good option for if you're looking for something modern to kind of watch and enjoy and learn from. In this clip, he is talking to a lad. I do not know what his name is. He was going around interviewing a few different people. And essentially, well, you're going to hear the question he asks straight away, but it's in relation to the guy's opinion about trad music, Irish traditional music, because this episode was completely focused around trad music. Okay, so Coley, who is the host name, is going to ask a question at the start in relation to trad music, and then you're going to be listening to the second guy for pretty much the rest of the clip, give his opinion on Irish traditional music. Okay, so when you're ready, guys, I am 3, a do, a hain.
Initium kid and rudder scarf we killed traditions are down.
Well, like, stolen because Tasha Koshan and I Dini Post the Gage the Clay. I guess Tasha different look at to squish like Kershi so gloom, like really toiling in the jazz, no pop, no rock, no the machine. So the Nas gown is like on dinner, Paris and August and Star to Leshen Kill, like. So it's tough. Martha Rocha, I'm like Tasha Star, like Tashan Zagin, Dagwal, Lesh, like Nablinta Ella, because like Nadini, Shan Ella, Hanig Rivermits, like.
Or on Adway.
Oh, Taram the Agamits. Kinte.
Okay, we won't listen to the full song, but hopefully that gives you maybe a bit of context on what the last line was just before it. That's why I left it in. Right, guys, listen to that as many times as you feel like you need to. I feel like that's going to be one. If you do listen to it again, even slow it down a tiny bit if you have a way of doing so, putting it 0.75 speed, then I think you will be able to get a lot more from that on the second, third, fourth and fifth listens. So keep on going until you feel like you have as much as you're possibly going to get. And here is the breakdown.
Initium kid.
Finish them. So tell me all these little filler words, guys, and kind of things I suppose come naturally to people who are fluent are so good. They make you sound a lot better, and they're really good for even just buying you a little bit of time to help you think what you're going to say next. And that sounds quite shallow maybe, but that stuff is important. Filler words and even just small tricks for making yourself sound a little bit better can help you in terms of the other person then sticking with it and being happy to talk to you in Irish and get you more practice and help you feel more confident. So Inish them, tell me, or kind of let me know.
Initium kid and rudder scarf.
Curd on Ruddas Far, or Curday on Ruddas Far. So Curd is the exact same as Cod, both are for what. Curday on Ruddas Far, what is the best thing?
And rudder scarf we killed traditions are down.
If we kill traditionta, or traditionta, as he says, air down. Okay, about traditional music on the world, basically, or in the world. What's the best thing in the world about Irish traditional music?
Well, like, stolen because
Is Stoilum. So it's quite fast, we'll have to break it down bit by bit. for a lot of what he says. But it's them, just I guess, I reckon, I suppose, another very handy phrase instead of always saying ceapam or sílam.
Like, stolen because tá sé cóisian sin agus
Tá sé co-shan shin, it's that old. So co-x shin is a very useful kind of formula, guys, if you want to think about it mathematically, almost, where x is an adjective for dash and then whatever the adjective. Okay, he's so whatever, so slow, or is dash slow. Tá sé co-mal shin. If I was saying so slow, it would just be co-mal. Okay. He's that late, or he does be that late all the time. Being sé co-janach shin, he does be basically as late as that late. Or if we just want to say so late, co-janach.
like, stolen because tá sé cóisian sin agus tá daoine fós géisteach
Agus tá daoine fós a géisteacht. So it's that old. Agus tá daoine fós a géisteacht, and people are still listening. Fós can be used for still or yet.
sin agus tá daoine fós géisteach lei.
Leahy, so people are still listening to it. Remember, we always need to have the le after the verb éist, in the same way that we always have the verb, or the word to, after the verb listen in English.
Sin agus tá daoine fós géisteach lei. Agus tá sé difriúil ceol eile
Agus tá sé difriúil ó ceol eile, and it's different from other music. So a lot of this, guys, is standard enough stuff. There's nothing too crazy going on. It's just the speed, which is quite tough. So this is kind of another example of most people listening to this, or a lot of people will have, if they saw a transcript of this so far, the first 11 seconds of it that we've got through so far, they'd find it very easy. Maybe not everyone, but a lot of people. So it just shows you it's massively important. Just so much of what you hear, you're going to know anyway, but you won't be able to understand it because the accent or the speed, and that's just getting your ear trained up. It's like going to a gym. If you want to be able to lift 60 kilograms, you have to start on 10 and then just lift more and keep on coming back and back and back, and eventually you get to the 60, the exact same. Just practice, listening, and listening as much as you can.
agus tá sé difriúil ceol eile tá scuise le
Tusk go bhfuil sé. Tusk, guys, is a word I very rarely use, and anything I do, but out of all the words I never really use, this might be the most common one in the language. Tusk. So it's essentially as a result. Okay? So I could say Marialler shin, but then we can also use tusk or tishk, as it's sometimes pronounced, and bounce into the verb with the go.
difriúil ceol eile tá scuise le chuir síos ó glún go glún agus
Tusk go bhfuil sé. Kind of because